Hello, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Pretty Fly for a Senpai. Join me and my Dragon Maid co-hosts as we talk about Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. They got to experience their own culture today. I'm Thai Muffin.
I'm Shark Wellington, and this Dragon Maid's so nice, she made us some soup.
Wow. I'm Hero 19X, and I didn't get any. What the frig?
Wait, what's this? What type of meat is this? Can I get?
Oh,
what type of meat is that?
Oh, ugh. Why is it green and slimy?
Is there a bone in the middle?
I should have checked that.
You ate it? Oh my god!
Well, I mean,
Is it poisonous?
I'll let you know in 10 minutes.
Oh no.
What?
Oh,
It takes
no.
10 minutes. Oh no!
Oh no. Yep, so today we're going to be talking about Season 1 of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Before we get too far into it, I do want to talk about how the second season of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, which is airing when this comes out, is the first thing that Kyoto Animation has made since the Kyoto Animation, the KyoAni Arson, that I think it ended up killing 36 people. Obviously, it's a terrible tragedy that it's good to see that the people who did survive that horrible event are going on and continuing to produce wonderful, shows that they enjoy making. At the credits of the first episode of the second season, I think they posthumously credited a couple of I think the director of season 1 in the end credits. So just wanted to get that out of the way early. It wasn't a small event when it happened, but it's something that needs to be said at least.
Yeah, I think in the article you linked, it was one of the worst attacks on Japanese soil since World War II.
Oh my god.
Which threw me off.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a terrible tragedy. If you're feeling down and bad, go get help. Put the numbers in the show notes. It's down there. Song's good.
The OP, every time it came on, I felt bad for not knowing the words, but I would hum along to it. And I pretty much shook my butt every single time.
Oh, 110%. When I had to go up to get something to drink, I had my wireless headphones on. I'm just grooving on into the kitchen.
It was super creative and stylish, and I really liked all the different places that they put their faces. I think the one that stuck out to me was when Elma's face was on a sausage or something. It was
yes!
being cut.
She's singing.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. God, it's just such a cute show. Just top to bottom. The wiggly, the animation.
Dude, the animation's really good.
The animation style is it's so... they give all the characters so much of their personality traits in how they are animated. It's so good.
It is very wiggly. It's cutesy. It rides that line. It's goofy enough that I don't take it too seriously, which I think is important because some of the stuff that happens in the show you just can't. Quetzalcoatl. I think I said that right first try. Go me. Quetzalcoatl. They call her Lucoa, and her relationship with a small boy named Shouta, which I think comes in about halfway through the first season.
It's a little on the nose for my taste.
A little bit. The thing is, I was warming up to the character.
Yeah.
But I was I don't know if I can get behind this now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I got issues with that. I've got issues with the Shouta angle of it. It's a little yikes for me. I don't want to. We're just gonna go there. I'll just call it what it is. I'm not about pedophilia in my anime, regardless of gender. So I have issues. With the way that relationship is portrayed, at least in those moments where she is trying to like seduce a 5th grader. I have problems with that personally.
I feel like they kind of skirt that by making her like very innocent
For the most part.
the way that she presents herself and like dresses and just looks is like very, very sexual, and she doesn't act sexual in the slightest.
Did you guys watch the 14th episode?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
The one where she said she's going to coat herself in chocolate and give herself to Shouta as his Valentine's chocolate.
Well, there was also the part where she was offering, quote unquote, her body to live at his house, which is
It's true.
a little bit real, but
It's true.
I felt like it kind of wind down a little bit as it went on, but then the whole chocolate coating thing, like, well, hot damn.
By the end, it got more wholesome, and less overtly sexual.
It transitioned into a sort of mommy thing, which still sort of had those undertones, but it was a little less.
It transitioned kind of around the like school festival episode where she's distracting all of the other kids.
Your sister's so cool.
Yeah, exactly. Just by existing in the space and being excited to watch Shouta do the school festival, the sports stuff. All the other kids are like, I'm so distracted by the big bouncing gazongas. Let's go. Shouta wins.
I feel kind of bad because it feels like her personality was just kind of phoned in, because her identifying features are her body features, but like her personality wasn't important enough, you know? Like every time she shows up, it's just haha boobs.
Hey, we're gonna have a boob joke now. It's boob joke o'clock.
The freaking bit where the kid was asleep and he was dreaming about like playing with a big ball and like hugging a sumo wrestler, and I can't remember the last one. And like he'd like wake up and be like, oh no, and then there'd be like a wolf in the background. Oh,
He was pushing the sumo wrestler, and she was like, oh, being so straightforward.
Oh yeah, you're being very forward today.
Okay, actually, here's a good aside. What are the rules on sleeping? Because I think in like the very first episode, Tohru is like, I'm a dragon, we don't need to sleep. But they sleep plenty. It feels like a throwaway line that they just kind of didn't think about.
Even like in the flashback, like when Tohru was talking about her past, she was asleep in the ruins of the castle or wherever they're at.
Well, that's right. When she meets the other girl or whatever, the only other human she ever knew.
And they're not like just doing it for show, whatever. I remember like the one time that Kanna is like asleep with her backpack, you know, and they're like, oh, she's so exhausted, she had a big day.
Yeah.
I just don't know. That was like, I'm a nitpicker, and that was one thing that I latched onto and zeroed in. I was like, wait a second, you just set a rule and then ignored it.
Welcome to Dragon Ball Z. That's what they do all the time.
True. To be fair, Fafnir doesn't sleep.
Oh, true. He's a true gamer.
Oh man. Oh, Fafnir was tons of fun.
I'm gonna say Fafnir, you know, Fafia, Takenmir. Those are that couple they're so wholesome together. That group, they are just the most thoughtful bros in the world. And they're adorable.
Oh, I loved it so much. It was so good because honestly, it felt like kind of the one relationship in the whole show that didn't have like a romantic sexual undertone. Yeah. It was just two people enjoying each other's presence and not constantly, just going off anytime like they brush shoulders or whatever.
Yeah. We'll get there.
You're late. Pull up a chair. It's raid time. Also, here's a Valentine's Day sword that's for people you love. Send me the same one back. I want it too. He's like, oh, you got me a present. He's like, yeah, I expect the same back.
I loved with their interactions how like the stuff that got me was like I've had roommates, bad roommates before, and like I don't know, just like the little like thoughtful things that they do for each other, like, oh, it's raining outside, so you know, Takiya's coming home from work. He's like, oh no, they said there was gonna be no rain today, and the laundry's out. And he walks in the door, and Fafnir has already brought in the laundry and folded it, and he set out a towel for Takiya at the door. And I'm like, oh my god, he's so thoughtful.
I so love I don't want to say the character development with Fafnir, because it goes in the beginning where he's hates humans. They're literally the worst piece of shit. Then like just hanging out with Makoto and playing video games. And when they were at the comic book store, whatever store they were at, and they came out and he goes, you know, there's good and bad ones, but he's one of the good ones. I'm just like, my heart melted. I'm like, bro, so good.
He's like, this world is full of people that aren't worth my time. I can't spend all my time figuring out whether or not someone is a hit or a miss. So I have to investigate people that might be hits. And then Takiya walks outside and he's like, where you want to go? He's like, oh, just follow me. You're a hit. He's like, what?
It's so good.
Like, I love it because like he shows so little affection that anytime he does show any at all, it's so heartwarming. Like the towel was the outright, like, it was just like super thoughtful, and like it lit up my face because I was like, yeah, that's approximately as much affection as he's gonna show to anybody.
Yeah. Because like you kind of expect the like, it's like, oh, he brought in the clothes, that's what's gonna happen here. But then you see the towel, it's like, oh, he took that extra step of consideration. Oh, it's so, and the way that Takiya kind of gives Fafnir shit all the time for liking mild food. but he still is like, he gives him a little bit of shit and then just like makes the food mild anyway.
Yeah.
Or like on the train when he changes Fafnir's order from a coffee to an apple juice.
That was nice. I kind of wish that there were a couple times they would have brought it up beforehand. I mean, it was cool that they were offhandedly like, oh, they know each other's favorite drinks now, but I guess it would have been kind of cool if like they had a little scene where he's like, here's your coffee, and he's like, I don't drink coffee. Do you have any apple juice? But it was nice.
Yeah. While we're on the topic, while we're just rattling down the couples here, do we get into Kanna and Saikawa now?
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean, we can't just pretend that's not there.
We can't just pretend it's not there. Yeah. As much as I'd like to, not gonna lie, I think it gets to my thing with this anime altogether is like, they're just little things. They're little things. They're little moments. They're short moments. But if they weren't there, it'd be so much better. I don't know. They didn't need to go the whole literal 8-year-old lowly romance route with these characters.
Yeah. Definitely. There were a few different times where like in my head, I was like actively almost sort of blocking the scene. I was like, I'm just gonna let this moment pass. They were laying it on a bit with like any time that like they touched, like Saikawa would just be like, what? Like, okay.
Straight up like gasm phase. It's like,
yeah, like yeah. That was absolutely what they were going for, and that was a bit weird.
Yeah, I was okay with it being like, you know, whatever, you kids being friends and whatever, but then like the Twister scene happened, and I'm like,
oh my gosh,
yeah, okay,
yeah,
I can no longer abide.
Were they playing with a cassette tape?
It was like a little box that came with the game. It wasn't like even a cassette tape. It was, I don't know.
was it automatically picking stuff or something? Because
Yeah.
if it was a cassette tape, it'd be the same game every time. So you could like optimize your Twister strategies.
Optimize the Twister route. There you go.
It's a new meta.
Twister percent.
But yeah, I know. I think there's a box that it's like a Bop It or something where you just push it and it goes and it just says random things.
Yeah.
And they were having each individual player do something different. I've never played Twister like that. It was very clearly Twister. They called it something else.
Maybe you should play Twister like that. So in Death Parade, as an aside, there's a episode that is basically they do Twister in that game, and it is played the same way, where if one person goes, then the other person goes. So I'm wondering if that's a cultural difference between the way that they all play Twister. But
yeah, maybe it's like a widespread house rule. One of those things where everybody's like, wait, that's not in the rule book? They flip open the rule book. Yeah, it's nowhere in there. Oops.
Oopsie doopsie.
But yeah, no. Like I it was cute sometimes, and then other times
There are some times where it's just like the cheek touch, like when both their cheeks touched and she freaked out. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cute. And then but when it came to like the Twister scene where Kanna was on top of her, I'm just like, all right, please. And,
yeah.
and the Kanna's like my favorite character in this anime. I think she's super adorable. It's just some of the scenes I will agree that they were probably a little too much.
The thing for me is that Saikawa only like again it's like it now that I'm saying it out loud, it feels like a lot of characters are like this, but she has like one gag, you know, and that's like, you know, just like freaking out anytime she's around Kanna. And so anytime she was there, I was like, the joke's coming, guys. And
True.
It sucks too, because it makes me feel like I can't share this with people without like giving a sort of footnote about that existing, you know. It almost feels like there's like, I wish there was a cut of this that just kind of didn't have those jokes in it, because you know, you can't watch this with friends and just be like, haha, those little girls are at it again.
The 8-year-olds are they're just going for it.
The third grade class is at it again.
Yeah,
Those little scamps.
Yeah, it feels very like someone wanted to make a slightly more wholesome animation of their personal fetish. Which I don't know. It's I don't know. That relationship was when it got weird, got real weird. But let's talk about Elma and food. The next relationship.
Elma felt like such. I don't even want to say missed opportunity. It feels like she was like an opportunity that they didn't even kind of try to take. She was just there.
I felt like she was just thrown in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of does feel that way.
It would have been cool. I was kind of thinking one of the episodes, she's just kind of like sitting in like a cafe or like a restaurant or something, and she's just like eating alone, and maybe she was drinking or something. She was like, I guess I am fitting in with human society, just sitting there alone. And I was like, oh, are we going to get like a cool kind of like, oh, this is Dragon seeing what it is like to live in the human corporate world, but not really. No, that didn't turn into anything. I would have liked it to. Like, if honestly, I kind of thought the show was a bit more interesting when the problem stemmed from Kobayashi's job, because that's the most relatable part, I suppose. You know, whenever
I suppose.
Oh man,
I suppose.
Gonna wreck you guys. This can't be our running joke. I won't allow it.
No lie. I unironically at the end of a workday, someone said to me, like on the phone, he said something and it ended with I suppose, and I went, I suppose, back without thinking. And they're like, what's wrong with you? Like, no, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's from an anime. It's fine.
You're right though. Like the Kobayashi, the work stuff is some of the more relatable. It gave some of the like harder hitting like emotional moments. Like legitimately my favorite episode was the school festival episode.
Yes.
For that reason, where it's like, oh, Dad can't show up to the school play because he's got work deadlines to hit, and Kobayashi sees how much it means to Kanna to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So she works extra hard to be there for Kanna. And at the end, when they eat snacks and juice and are sitting on a bench or whatever, like a real family, it's like, oh my God, it's just so wholesome.
The school festival episode is probably the best example of a slice of life episode done correctly. The stakes were never huge, but it was all about like all of them wanting to be there for each other and sort of, okay, this is going to require some work from me, so better buckle down. It sucks that life's like this, but I'm putting in overtime now so I can go to the festival. The bit with the race where Saikawa was so heartbroken because she dropped the baton, and Kanna's like, I got this, don't worry about it. It's just, it transcends being junk food. It's comfort food. That's at least a step higher, I think. Still not nutritious, but at least has some substance.
Yeah, I think that was one of the first reactions that Saikawa and Kanna had, or interactions rather, where they didn't do the joke, the whatever, oh, Kanna's touching me,
and it was so much better for it.
So much better if they did that joke in that moment when if Saikawa was sad and like apologizing to Kanna for dropping the thing, and Kanna's like, no, the only reason we won is because you made up as much ground as we did. If when Kanna went to go hold her hands, that she did the face, the gasm face, it would have totally ruined that moment.
Oh, absolutely. Like, it would have clashed so badly, which is, it's just a tricky thing about it, because there are those emotional beats, and they are sort of intermingled between 1 minute segues of random, Tohru trying to feed Kobayashi her tail, just like quick asides. I put in the Discord, and I didn't know if you guys looked at it. That book that she was reading, Crane's Return of a Favor. The basic summary of that one was like, it's a Japanese story. A man saves a crane by, I think, taking an arrow out of it. And then like later that night, a woman shows up on his doorstep and says, I'm your wife now. And that's how stories used to go, I guess. And so they get married, and she would disappear in her room and come out with like a really nice coat. And then one day he looks in the room and it's the crane, and it's making the coat from its feathers. So I guess they're trying to like make an analog that Tohru is trying to be like the crane by chopping off her tail.
That makes sense now. So as a side really quick, they have different manga for each of the dragons. So there is like 8 mangas of Elma's office lady diary, and it goes through what she I don't want to say what she goes through every day, but it's because we're complaining about how we didn't see a lot of her, but now they literally have her own little manga series just for her.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I like that. That's a really cool idea. Like, when you say 8 of them, like...
Yeah.
8 volumes. Is it volumes or chapters?
There's volumes.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Cow.
Yeah, they have so far I'm seeing up to 6 for Kanna.
Dang.
Oh, they all have it. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I'm done. I was thinking about buying the manga for this series, but now I'm done. So my wallet, I can't.
My wallet can't handle all this Dragon Maid manga.
I can't. I feel like every time I watch a new anime, I feel like it's religious. Religiously I have to change my wallpaper.
It's part of the experience.
Yeah.
Part of the experience.
It feels like every time we watch a new anime, I get a new intro song stuck in my head.
True.
It's too
It's
good.
true.
I'm the type of person, I get stuck on a song. So like when we start a new anime, I'll start like that song goes to the front of my playlist, and every time I get in the car, it's like time to play the anime intro real quick.
Hold on, it's my own personal OP right now. Let's go. Yeah, no, it's the same. It's so good. Like that when it gets halfway through the song and everybody's doing the like ballerina twirl as they fly into the sky.
Yes.
Oh, that part of the song is so good. I don't know. I get goosebumps sometimes when I watch it still. It's very good. Ending song, I'm not as... It's interesting, but it's not as good.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was fine. It exists.
It's fine.
It was funny to me that in both the intro and the outro songs, like all four of them kind of felt like they had the same exact billing, and then you watch the episodes and it's like not equal in the slightest. Like Elma is there, like sometimes, barely.
Yeah. You get the little Nichijou style, like minute-long intercuts of her trying to decide which flavors of ice cream she should eat.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was fun.
Or what filling her fish chocolate turnover should be, or whatever.
She's like, I could buy both. No, that would put me over budget.
Yeah.
Ma'am, are you gonna decide? There's a whole line behind you.
Elma's relationship truly is with food.
Truly.
You know what? Actually, I did also like the shopping culture, I want to say. How Kobayashi would always go to the department store and just pick stuff off the shelves. But Tohru was like, I want to interact and like haggle and, you know, the first time they go to like the shopping district, Kobayashi's like, why are you friends with everybody? She's like, no, I'm just being nice to the store owners.
The dragon is more socialized than me?
Wait a minute, that's just socializing. Is that the secret? You just gotta treat them like human beings? That's crazy.
I do like how Tohru starts with how awful, like, this is insolent, puny humans. With such an inferior species, and then by the end she is like completely dropped that line altogether. Basically, it's nice.
Every dragon when they're young goes through those thoughts and feelings. You know, the ones where you want to destroy all of humanity.
Oh.
Oh, it's just a phase.
It's
You'll
just
grow
a
up.
phase. She's watching the people walking outside again, like a cat. Looking at mice in a cage or something.
Chirping at birds. Hey, you over there. Hey.
Hey, I'm gonna eliminate you.
I'll get you. When this force field is gone, you're mine. Oh, shoot. Let's talk about Tohru and Kobayashi a little bit.
Yeah.
We've gone through all the other
The main
more
two.
minor, the main two.
I like how Kobayashi is I don't want to say is portrayed as the working man, but I don't like, she just, she goes to work, she does her thing, and then, once Tohru just comes into her life, just shit turns upside down, and now she's feeling like a human, and she's having feelings.
Yeah, like she's like a salary person.
Yep.
Which is a pretty big thing in Japan, like much more so than America, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
She refers to like death marches as like a death ma. Like it happens so often that she has made a nickname for it. And I wanted to know if that was like a common turn of phrase. So like I kind of looked up like Death March Japan and came across, apparently they do have a word for dying due to overworking, which is karoshi, which is translated literally as overwork death.
Well, that's what she does, though.
Apparently, the first case is considered to have happened in 1969, and they have 745,000 deaths attributed to overwork death, where
Oh my god.
people just in their 20s will just have a heart attack and die.
Wow.
Just out of nowhere.
It's intense.
Yeah.
Talk about giving your life for your work.
No, thank you.
But
God. The rip shot. Yeah, she is just the most relatable, and I think, like you said earlier, Shark, it's why, her, whenever she has, whenever the conflict arises and it's mostly like about work, it's some of the more interesting things that happens, like her shitty superior that is just making her do all his work.
Oh my God.
When Tohru is like when Tohru is like monitoring her or whatever, wants to see how she is at work, and she just trips him.
I'm so glad we're talking about this.
I love when she tripped him multiple times.
Oh my gosh!
I'm showing him flopping constantly, repeatedly.
Dying.
So good.
Like, it almost felt like one of those sort of Family Guy jokes where it's drawn out just long enough. It's like
it was forever. It was like a minute and a half of just dude trying to get up and getting tripped.
I bet you there's something that's like a 10-hour loop on YouTube of him just tripping and tripping and tripping and tripping.
I bet you're right.
They use like the same animation, like so it's just a loop.
My favorite bits is when they wouldn't just use the same animation loop when he'd get a little bit closer to standing all the way up.
Yeah.
So good. It's such a good thing. It's such a good bit.
They said like at the end of that episode or something that guy was fired.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were implying that Kobayashi had complained or Tohru had complained.
That's how I took it.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, it was like an aside, like Kobayashi's just working at her desk and like drinking coffee out of her square mug, and somebody saying as an aside, "Oh yeah, that really crummy manager got fired the other day for putting his work on other people."
Yeah, it's like abusing his power or something that they said.
Okay.
I took it as that she did it because Tohru. I felt because Tohru was sticking up for her, that maybe she felt that she has to stick up for herself.
Maybe.
There you go.
That's how I took it as.
I'm gonna go with that. That sounds correct to me. I didn't quite piece it together because I was like, yeah, it was just like a sort of aside, like a throwaway comment that someone was just like, yeah, that guy's fired now, and the camera stays on Kobayashi for a few seconds. So I feel like it is implied that she was the one that put in the complaint. I just wasn't sure what had brought it about per se.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like how Kobayashi at the end of that episode is like, Tohru still has her perception blocking on, and Kobayashi just turns around and goes, "You can come out now."
The true ultra instinct.
And then she does, and she's like, "Wait, you really were there." You really were there.
Which is like everybody's done that, right? Like,
yeah,
you're walking along and you just decide to turn around and shout behind you, "You can come out now." And you're like, well, I'm not expecting someone to come out, but wouldn't it be crazy if they did?
Not gonna lie, I had that happen with a deer last night when I was working my outages. It was terrifying.
I had that happen with a deer in front of my car.
Walking through the woods, my headlamp is my only light, and I see just a leg out of the corner of my eye, and I look up, and the deer and our eyes met, and I went, "Shit!" And then the deer and I both ran away.
I had that same problem last night with the slug.
Slug?
Yeah, the slug ran away.
Okay.
Dang, that slug's got some pops.
No.
With his little slug legs.
Slug legs.
I guess I did deal with the slug last night, but it didn't run away.
Oh, I do like that Tohru and Kobayashi, as they, Tohru stays kind of the same as far as her energy the whole time.
Yeah.
But I do like that, Kobayashi becomes more open and friendly and stuff as the series goes on, and Tohru grows to like people more. It's just nice to see some development.
Exactly.
It's subtle, but definitely noticeable. It feels kind of, maybe it's just that we get used to them together, but it does feel like everybody gets a bit more sociable and comfortable with each other as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
including like Elma and
Oh,
Tohru.
that's right.
They're at the start, like they were ready to kill one another,
Mm-hmm.
and Tohru just like shoots her off a balcony, and then they just kind of hang out. I don't think they had any arguments at all after that. Like they just start showing up in the same place. They're not even like angry.
They don't really fight it again until like the Valentine's Day special episode or whatever, when they're just doing a little bit of arguing on the train. But yeah, that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just kind of. It feels like there are a few missed connections, like stuff that they would have done with more time or episodes, maybe. That like maybe from the source material they wanted to be like, hey guys, they have this fight just like they're supposed to. Now they're friends. like someone was skipped in the middle.
It's like reverse isekai.
Oh,
It's like
God.
That is.
in Reincarnated as a Slime, that's the way that all the arcs go, is there's a new villain character. They beat the new villain character. Oh no, there's a new problem that must be solved with the help of the new villain character.
Yeah, a good majority of the time the villains are now your friends.
Green Ranger.
Yep, now the villain is my friend.
And now they're way underpowered.
True.
Remember that move I used to do that would end the world if I used it that one time? That's now just like my every other attack, and it does nothing.
True. So it's like reverse isekai. It's dragons show up and they hate people, and then they're like, people are cool.
They're fine.
And then another dragon shows up. It's okay. That continues into the next season too.
There's a lot of backsliding where like at first it was like, okay, we can't have one single dragon over here. And then they're like, well, maybe it's okay if we have like 5 different dragons here. I'm sure it'll be fine.
All with different personalities.
I think that like the Damocles kind of says that near the end, where he's like, you think it's okay now, but once one dragon shows up, more will follow to see what's going on. And things may be peaceful now, but eventually there will be, those who don't feel the same way and will want to try and take over the humans.
Was that foreshadowing?
Was that foreshadowing?
Who is that is Tohru's father.
Tohru's dad.
Her dad. By the way, because as we were saying, like before we start recording, I don't believe they say his name in the anime.
No, they don't. I don't think.
No, they just call him Daddy.
Yeah, that's what I call him.
I was expecting a little bit more from that episode where he shows up, and it's like, this is a super huge deal. It's like like, did they say he was like the Emperor of Chaos or something?
Emperor of Demise.
The Emperor of Demise. This is the Emperor of Demise, everybody. This is like the most powerful dragon of chaos, and he is here, and he's not taking no for an answer. All right, unless he gets told no, then he'll take.
Unless his daughter's crush rolls in and says, you need to put more faith in your daughter. Then he's like,
yeah.
Wait a minute. Okay, I don't approve, but I will go now. I do not approve of this situation, but I will leave because you told me that.
I respectfully leave.
He did respectfully leave, didn't he?
He took the clouds with him.
Damn.
Oh shit.
We needed those.
He did.
He took the water.
We're in a drought, sir. Please bring those clouds back. We need those.
I love how there wasn't that many fight scenes, but when there was a fight scene, it was really good. It blew my mind. I wish that there was a little bit more of a fight between Tohru and her father, but I mean, for what we got, a lot of the fight scenes were just so good. And even when Tohru was just like blasting stuff with her mouth, like anytime any actiony stuff happened, it was just so good.
Yeah, they really put a lot of time and effort into the animation there. Like the first one of those was like when there's a thief at the market, and
Yes.
Yeah.
Tohru flies towards the thief and like does the whole nothing personal, kid. like teleports behind you and punches him and does like the 360 thing in the air. It's so good. It's like they put so much effort into those fights.
Yeah, I think there was like a lot of smear frames and stuff too. Like there was a lot of fluidity there. I think her hand got like real big and she kind of looked like Elastigirl for a moment. Like she's
yeah,
like really fluid. Like when they wanted to over animate and make something look super good, they absolutely did it, and you could tell when they were trying to do it.
Also, the fight between the when Kanna and Tohru are playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that whole fight scene is like, oh shit, they could kill everybody if they really wanted to. They are very powerful. Holy shit. Like that's a real good indicator just how strong these creatures are.
I couldn't tell the difference between their play fight and the super serious dad fight. Like these fights looked approximately the same from my human perspective, but I guess to a dragon maybe there's a difference. Maybe
the attack that Kobayashi interrupted when they're both like going SSJ4 and they get the aura around them and they're about to like afterburner into each other. Maybe that was gonna be the move that would have separated it.
I was so ready to see them just conk noggins. I was ready for that. I'm a little sad we didn't get to see. And the dodgeball fight.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the dodgeball fight.
No, the dodgeball fight.
Oh, that was super fun. Where they just like show up and like they're like getting
so good
picked on by two little girls. They're like, hey, this is our dodgeball spot. We're like a half dozen teenaged boys.
What a bunch of nerds. A bunch of nerds getting called out by 8-year-olds. What are you doing?
Oh, she called the one guy an American gorilla, which stuck out to me a little bit.
It's true.
I don't feel like the guy looked particularly American. I don't know how much of a thing that is to call someone an American, although I think there's a little bit of
That's what all Americans look like.
We're gorillas?
I think there's a little bit of that sort of otherism sometimes that like...
Yeah.
I remember also an offhand that was like... about the slippers at the school where they were like, everybody should be similar because they don't like things that are different. All Japanese foreigners, girls and boys will be the same because of the slippers. But there's no school uniforms, so I guess the slippers will do it.
Yeah, true. I didn't even think about that.
But the dodgeball was so fun.
So good. Those nerds getting riled up by an 8-year-old. Like, come on.
Every time like somebody was like mildly threatened, like everyone showed up and was like, do you want us to kill them?
The squad.
And every time like Kobayashi would have to say like before they get started, hey, don't kill them, please. Every time she'd have to like remind him.
I love at the end when like Tohru and Fafnir was just like throwing the ball lightly at each other.
Yeah, you gotta pretend you've got a bad lower back like Kobayashi does.
Played at Kobayashi's level.
Like the ball was like being thrown so slow that it was going like up and down in the air. Like
so
I love
good.
when they do silly stuff like that. It's so good.
It's so goofy.
It's great. I that's the thing about it is like it's so damn cute like most of the time. Like 90% of the time it's adorable or like badass.
Absolutely.
When the fights are happening. And yeah, just a little 10% that just gets me. Maybe even less, maybe even like 5%.
Yeah, like it feels like just about every time that there was like a romantic or a sexy undertone, like almost every time, there were a few that I would allow. Like there were some moments that were just like really, really cute. Like anytime that they'd be like headed home and Kobayashi would be like, you can hold my hand. You know, it's like it's just a wholesome moment. It doesn't have to be like, whoa, it's funny because of the giant boobs, everybody.
Yeah, and it's like, or like, yeah, like Kanna being like Kobayashi's child, you know, like they are a family kind of a thing.
She wants like the more expensive school supplies because it's like, it's kawaii.
It's so kawaii.
Yeah, and the pencils they were looking at weren't kawaii enough. She wants something.
That's right.
She wants the backpack that has human blood in it. She's like, why did she pick that backpack?
What?
And she's like, I knew you picked the one with the human blood curse. I just knew it. She's like, wait, what?
Oh my god.
Typical Kanna. Can't believe.
Typical Kanna.
I have to guess that like somebody maybe cut themselves like on the production line and maybe their blood got in the backpack. I don't know. Because otherwise, what's it doing there?
Maybe. Maybe. I'd probably say here you said Kanna was probably your favorite character. I think Kanna was probably one of my favorites as well. Top 2. Just because she is so like stoic. She like never reacts to anything, but she gets praised by Kobayashi sometimes.
Yes.
The praise and her like being praised face is just like the same as her normal face, but she goes, ah.
Oh.
I love how she came off as like, I don't want to say like a hard character. Like, you know, she hates humans and stuff. And then as that episode went on, she just like became mush. And then once they started living with Kobayashi, it was just, I don't know. I just feel like whenever dragon lives with Kobayashi, it's just like their life changes. Like Kanna just became like an adorable, adorable little child. I don't know. When I thought she was going to be like a fierce baby dragon.
Well, yeah, I forgot that until you mentioned it, that when she is introduced to Kobayashi, she's like, slut with glasses.
Oh my
Pervert. Yeah. You seduced her with your body.
Oh,
like,
and she's like, give her back. Give her back.
Give her
starts
back.
Like pounding on her legs.
She's like, I'm going to kill you.
Give her back.
Yeah.
You brute.
I love the sound effects.
Oh my god, you can hear every titty bounce in the anime. They had a sound effect.
They weren't unique sound
Boing.
effects either. Yeah, like
No. You just knew. Like I'd be like zoning out and I'd go boing and I'm like, oh, Lucoa's here. And I look over and there she is. Hey everybody. Well, welcome to the middle of the episode where your dragon maids come and serve you tea and tell you to stretch your legs and also tell you to head on over to go get your own dragon maid cosplay at http://www.prettyflyforasenpai.com. Like, we don't actually have dragon maid cosplays over there, but I mean, if you guys really want one, we'd find a way to do that. Shark, you're good with the sewing machine, right?
I own a sewing machine.
Oh, that's all the qualifications.
That's all the qualifications you need.
The needle scares me real bad, though. You see those things go? It's like
You're not wrong. Sewing machines are kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie.
they're terrifying. I don't know why those things are illegal. That's why we go and get our clothing outsourced.
Exactly.
True.
At
prettyflyforasenpai.com.
They don't let me near the machine. I'm not allowed.
You could be fly for a senpai.
I put all the clothes in my mouth. It wasn't good.
That is true.
It's a good in-between. It's not wet cleaning. It's not dry cleaning. It's moist cleaning.
And that's what we like to hear. Moist cleaning.
Perfect. The clothing hugs you comfortably as if a dragon maid, a D for dragon maid, were doing so.
D for dragon.
D for dragon.
Time Muffin, I'm a D for dragon. Will those shirts fit me?
Of course they will. We have men's shirts, women's shirts, all kinds of shirts available over at www.prettyflyforasenpai.com.
Hero, tell us about your watch parties. Oh, I didn't know if any sussy bakas in the in the audience like to watch animes. Well, you do, because that's why you're here. So in our Discord, that'll be linked in the show notes. Is it linked in the show notes?
It's linked in the show notes.
It linked in the show notes.
I just copy and paste the show notes from last week and change the top part.
There it is.
So it's there.
It's there. And you know what? You could join the Discord and then you could watch anime with Anna Me and Anna You, because that's what we do. We do watch show watchings. It's a good time. We do it before. I like to try to do it a week before we film, so that way it's in my brain and I know. So you can watch it with us and we have a good time. We talk, we joke, we senpai around.
Senpai around with the senpais. Senpai time.
Yes. Senpai time.
Don't forget to follow while you're up stretching around, walking around, getting yourself a glass of milk. Go follow us on the social medias. Fly for a Senpai on Twitter. Pretty Fly for a Senpai on YouTube.
And you know what? You should give us a comment.
Like and subscribe.
Hit subscribe. Smash that like button. Click the bell. Whatever the other. What are the other things that the people on YouTube say?
Well,
the click the bell. They like. They subscribe. Comment.
and even if you're not watching on YouTube, just about all the streaming platforms, iTunes, Spotify, they all have thumbs ups. What if you click that thumbs up right now, wherever it be?
True.
Thumbs up.
Click the thumbie uppy. Leave a review.
If there's a comment anywhere, like on YouTube or an Anchor, just saying, let us know. Do you skip the intro after watching it once? Let us know.
Yeah, you shouldn't skip this intro though.
Not on this one.
This OP slaps.
All right. Well, now that we've gotten the house cleaning out of the way, let's get back to the episode.
Woo!
It's funny how compared to every other character, Kobayashi is just like not sexy at all, like purposefully.
Yeah.
So like
Mm-hmm.
like totally flat and like dresses a bit like a man and like has like short hair and is usually just done up, like never really dresses fancy, anything like that.
I think that's where I was trying to get from before, to be honest. Is
What do you mean?
well, like how I was trying to say before, how like she's dressed like a man, short hair, flat chested. Like I don't know what they were trying to go for, but I think it worked. I don't know.
Yeah, the androgyny works for that character for sure. You know, and it's a running gag that everybody who meets her's like, "You're disgusting, man. You're trying to steal Tohru." She's like, "I'm a woman, damn it. Leave me alone."
Like maybe that's a little bit more to make the self-insertion kind of work better, because it definitely kind of feels
True.
like we're meant to sort of relate to her the most because she's, you know, the one working a crappy job and, you know, having to make time for family members, quote unquote.
True.
And so I think maybe the androgyny also kind of lends to that, and just sort of like the lack of general emotions, because a lot of the time she's just like,
True.
okay, like a couple steps above One Punch Man, but
Yeah.
in the neighborhood.
Unless she's drunk, in which case she definitely has a personality.
Tohru.
Tohru.
I liked it every time she got drunk, which is a funny thing to say. But like they always introduced it the same way, would be like her just like crushing a bottle of beer and then tilting it back and laughing.
Then she slams and goes, "Aha!" It's so good. Yeah, no, it's I love that they give her and Takiya like different personalities. Like their work lives are different than their personal actions. Like Takiya is the glasses wearing otaku nerd, and Kobayashi just gets mad about maids, just so obsessed with maids.
Your outfit is all wrong. It's just cosplay.
Strip.
And she she rips it off. Like, which, all right.
Yep.
Those were her scales. Why did...
True.
Not enough embarrassment. You have a point there.
Well, yeah, like that was also a bit of a thing, but like aside from that, what I focused on was she just ripped her scales off, I think.
Biology doesn't quite work.
The clothing situation is weird to me because they're just all I guess they're all just naked all the time with scales on. I don't know, but like I think there were a few different times where their clothes would like not necessarily all of them, but just, you know, they would like take off a piece of clothing and it would just be like, oh, okay, that's fine. You're good with that? just shed that glove.
Leave your scales over there. Put them back on later.
I think there was like one time where like Tohru put on, it wasn't the kimono. Like I feel like one time she like put something on and was still dressed as a maid underneath it.
Was it like a casual clothes in like the first episode?
It was something like that.
Yeah.
It's funny to me that no matter how many times Kobayashi like expresses that she doesn't like how Tohru is making herself look, like Tohru will do anything but like change her outfit, which I feel would be the easiest thing for her to start with.
You'd think so. It's God, what is it? It's like in season 2 they talk a little bit more about, I watched a couple episodes of season 2. There's another dragon that shows up and they talk more about the powers that they have to use to turn into human form. And of course the new dragon that shows up has the biggest boobs of them all.
Oh no.
And Kobayashi's like, can you make your chest smaller? Is that an option? Is that possible? Because oh, there it is. Okay, I see the little I see the picture that you posted in the Discord.
Yeah, so I remember what it was, but I just wanted to make sure I just showed you guys a picture. That was the one that Kobayashi bought for her because she thought that the only thing she had to wear was a maid outfit.
Right, and you can kind of see some of the maid outfit underneath it. Yeah. Yeah, she was like, what size are you? D for dragon.
D for dragon.
D for dragon.
That's so good.
Oh, and she'd call her like a Chuozo-gon, which I had to look up that word. It just means simple.
No.
I think it was Chuozo was the word. That was only like a thing for like the first couple episodes.
Yeah, once she learned more, it was, she was less easy to trick. If only I had a maid that could do these things for me.
Yeah, Tohru would start complaining like, why don't you do some of the work around the house? And Kobayashi would just be like, because you're the best maid ever. And she'd be like, oh, okay, it's fine then. It's fine.
You're right, I am. I'll keep doing good. Thank you.
Oh, man. And she'd like stuff the clothes in her mouth.
Oh, to wash
She'd be
them.
like, tell me how you're washing these clothes. And she's like, okay, first I get all the clothes together. And then I get I start up the washing machine. And then I pop them all in my mouth. Start chewing. Okay, wait, stop there. Well, that last step. Don't do that one.
Don't do that one. Oh, the way she's just so excited to lick all of Kobayashi's filth.
God, when you say it like that.
In her own words. It's her own words. I did not say that myself.
Oh, yeah. I will. If you don't want me doing it to wash the clothes, then I will just lick you directly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was so dumb. And then like, friggin' Kanna licked Saikawa after the race also. I think I remember that one.
Oh, she did? Yeah.
They just like lick each other like dogs.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
just
you're
like
right.
right on the cheek. Here comes the face lick.
Saikawa was just so shocked. She just couldn't even.
I out of all the moments in the show, that was the one that they were just like, she just licks her face. That's it. That's all.
We'll leave it. We'll leave it alone. Leave it be.
I did really like it anytime they were like, oh, this is so different here because in Dragon World it's like this. I do hope that I do hope we get like a glimpse into Dragon World in season 2 because Tohru would just kind of fly off and be like, I went to Dragon World and I got groceries.
I got all these wild ass ingredients. Yeah. No, I the thing about I think one of my favorite parts of the show was during like the last 2 episodes when they really started to get in on the story. Like they finally went in on like an overarching plot. Like the prior, 11 episodes were like, all right, this is intro. We're gonna introduce all the characters and all the relationships, and then end of season 1, start of season 2, then the real story starts. which I'm cool with. I mean, it's so far it's I mean, I really like the way they did that. So it's not like random people just showing up. It's not like Slime, like Reincarnated as a Slime, where like the plot is happening and then you're being introduced to new characters and then like a major arc happens, but then at the end they're like, okay, well, we need these other 4 characters to be introduced in order for the next arc to go. So we're just going to take like 12 episodes and introduce all those characters after you've already experienced some story. So I really like the way they, and they were able to make it fun and not just like boilerplate, every person is introduced in the same way kind of a thing.
Yeah, it definitely felt purposeful, I suppose. Anytime someone new came in, it wasn't like an aside sort of thing. It was like, hey, here is their introduction. They came here because of this reason, and now they're immediately part of the crew. Like when Fafnir and Lucoa just show up at the door, it's like, I sent you a picture. You're not supposed to be a full-size dragon right now.
What are you doing?
She like opens the door real quick and slams it. No.
I think that was the only time we saw him as a dragon too.
Yeah, like in the intro. I really wish we did see more time.
Oh yeah, you see them all as their dragon forms in the intro. Mm-hmm. Elma's like a wild ass like sky serpent.
Yeah.
Like not really a dragon, but like
yeah.
Elma does a real good job of hiding her horn, by the way.
Yeah, that was something that I thought too. Like she's like the only character that tries. Like does Fafnir even have a horn? I don't think I ever saw one.
I don't think
I've never
so.
seen him have one.
But yeah, like everybody else. Well, Kanna does also hide it when she's at school.
Yeah.
Because there's the one time like she shakes her head and the horns pop out.
Yeah.
Tohru just doesn't even try at all.
Nope. She's a cosplayer.
She's a cosplayer.
Honestly, I can see why Elma would hide it though, because like that would be inconvenient for me. I'd be bonking that off doorways and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty prominent. Pillows, you snag your pillow in the night.
That's the worst. I really like the one episode that they did with when they all went to an anime convention.
That was a good one.
Oh, that one was really good.
It was really good. If it hit me home because I was like, man, I want to go to a convention really bad now.
It absolutely felt like a sort of a love letter, like from people who would go to conventions themselves. They were like, like I was seeing a whole bunch of stuff that I haven't gone to like a Japanese anime convention, which are totally nuts. I don't think that they were exaggerating about that at all.
Oh no.
No, I'm sure that they were very that's what that's how it goes.
Yeah, like they block them up and they assign them a letter and they'll be like, all right, the 100 people that are this letter, it's your turn now, and the people in this letter have to leave now or something like that, and they just cycle through thousands and thousands of people, and that's like every convention.
I love that there are actual beings from the other world there as cosplayers.
Yes.
It's so good. Toru's like, oh, those are good. Kobayashi's like, those are really good costumes. And Toru's like, nah. No, that's what they look like.
She can just tell immediately. Like she can just sort of sense a lot of stuff.
By the way, one of those members from the other world looked the demon guy looked a hell of a lot like the wood carving neighbor.
Huh.
He had the same eyes and the same hair.
Huh.
So
interesting.
Interesting.
I like how Fafnir made a book of cursed items and no one bought it. This poor boy.
Poor boy. Well, they were saying like the curses are real. It's like these are actual curses.
Tohru was saying it was such a deal.
I liked their use of like the censor pixelation.
Yeah.
Like they had a couple different times.
It's good.
Where it would be like, this is from another world, and they would like censor over it as though like our human eyes couldn't comprehend what we were gonna look at or whatever. That also happened like with her weird food. Like she'd be like, here's some food,
Oh,
and it'd
yeah.
be like pixelated like in Legend of Zelda. Yeah, it's like real curses, and because the first one sold so well, he tried it again. Didn't sell that time either. It's funny that like nobody would come up and just start reading and accidentally curse the whole convention or something.
Oh my god. You're right.
So was that meant to imply that Takiya was a manga writer or something like that, or was he just selling stuff?
Yes, I think so. I think that's another.
No, I think it was he was not a game developer. I thought he was making a game.
Oh yeah,
He was making a game.
Because Fafnir was playing some of his levels.
it was like a bullet hell.
That's right.
Like what is it? Tohru?
Ikaruga.
No, I think it's Tohru is the really popular Japanese bullet hell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tohru. Oh, now I'm thinking about Tohru. How long has this thing existed? It started in 1997.
Dang.
First release was
Wow.
1997. Latest release was May 4th of this year.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like a real popular bullet hell thing. Like if you ever see those bits about
Hell
like
yeah.
the witch with the apple, that's like a Tohru thing. But anyways,
Oh.
that's what that felt like to me. And Fafnir was playing Dark Souls, very clearly meant to be Dark Souls.
I was about to say he was playing Dark Souls.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, like, and the font that they used was driving me nuts. Like, and I still can't find it, but like the font where it says "You are dead," I swear, like I've played like an old crummy shovelware game with that font. I know that font.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That wouldn't surprise.
I know that font from somewhere. Like it's a real font, and it's in a cheap, crappy game somewhere, and it's also in this anime. But I couldn't find it.
I do like that Fafnir just loves video games right away when he shows up.
Oh, that was nice. Yeah, like it immediately clicks with him. He's like, oh. They're like, don't go to that chest. That's a mimic. And then like a full 2 seconds after, he's like, oh, this chest? Oh, that is a mimic. My bad.
It's good stuff.
It's like same exact mimic design as Dark Souls with like the crazy arms. Those things freak me out. those limbs are too long, man.
Yeah, they really are.
Definitely just felt like there were a lot of things that felt like they came from a place of life experience, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I would point at my screen and say, hey, that's something that I know from the real world. I paused a couple times when Kobayashi was writing code, and it looked like real code to me. I don't know what language. Maybe somebody who is a programmer could tell me, but
It looked real. I mean, from my
It looked
experience,
real.
my limited experience,
I saw
like
some numbers.
coding. There's some parentheses in there,
Yes,
some
and
semicolons,
My precise calculations, it looked like code.
semicolons.
speaking of the codes, I liked the transition,
Yes.
the yellow
Yes.
transition.
Oh yeah, those are good.
I'm certain I missed some references or something.
Probably.
Like I'm pretty sure one was like the Konami code.
Yeah,
Some of them were just like emoji faces.
They did Hadoken.
they did.
Oh yeah, they did do Hadoken.
You know, they did a lot of faces, just like the Kirby faces with like just a happy face. See, and I think that a lot of those, they really like, I don't know if you guys have seen any of Nichijou, but it's a lot of stuff like that where it's just like an aside into like a totally unrelated thing to what you were just watching. And they do a similar transition in that show. But in Nichijou, nothing is related to anything else. So it's like hundreds of skits is really all it is. It's very good though. You should watch Nichijou.
All right. Is that before or after OddTaxi?
Oh, OddTaxi first. OddTaxi's a quick. OddTaxi's a hot. It's quick. It goes in and out. It's
Oh Jesus!
Oh no.
you're in and out.
The old how do you do?
It's a 13 episode banger. We should watch OddTaxi at some point, but you know.
I feel like every episode.
I'm gonna keep talking about OddTaxi, okay? I'm gonna keep saying it. I didn't even bring it up this time. I'm just gonna keep going with it.
That's true. I take blame for that time.
We need an official time to OddTaxi. Someone get on that on the Discord. Time to OddTaxi.
I guess it's like one other little missed opportunity. I do wish we had a little more of Georgie, the actual correct maid.
I agree. I do like that at one point Saikawa slips up and starts calling her big sister. And I was like, oh yeah, Georgie.
Miss Georgie.
It's so good. I like that she's living the life, man.
It was cool. Like, and like Kobayashi and her are both like geeking out over Maid stuff, which I guess it's funny to me that Kobayashi is so much into Maid stuff and is totally uninterested in being a maid, you know?
Well, she has her own maid outfit.
Oh, that's right.
I don't remember that. That must have been early on.
She Tohru found it while she was cleaning, and she told Tohru to try it on, and that the whole like D for dragon thing happened again. Whereas
yeah. She's like, good thing that the chest expands.
Yeah. Apparently they can change those if they want to. Allegedly.
As so I've been told about dragons.
So I've been told.
Allegedly.
I thought it was kind of interesting with the way that how Tohru became a maid, with like that whole backstory with that girl in the ruins.
Oh yeah,
she wanted to literally just be a maid for someone and fall in love with their master, and I just love how then this Tohru just kind of, I don't want to say adapted that, but pretty much did. And at the end of this season, we see that girl becoming a maid, and I was like, wow, it's full circle. She finally became a maid.
That was so wholesome.
I do like when they go back and show the flashback when Kobayashi's having did she get drunk or did she just fall asleep and have a dream in that second to last episode? I can't remember.
Well, she was dreaming, I think, about the first time that she met Tohru.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, I like that she walked into the mountains carrying a bottle of Dragon Slayer.
The little names and labels on stuff was super fun, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the part that food and I suppose drink as well kind of played in it. There was the whole bento box showdown. That's
right.
Felt like a little peek into like another culture, because I mean bento boxes aren't like a thing for us, but they were like, it's a bento box. You made too much. It's got to be just the right size. So it's got to be like 2 cherries.
That's right. It was like cherry tomatoes.
Yeah, cherry tomatoes. That's it. Yeah. She's like, but what? That's just 2 cherry tomatoes. Yes, it's perfect for a bento box.
Your meal wouldn't fit in a bento, Tohru.
I was like, wait, what? The salad? It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense now.
I like in the second round when Tohru Kobayashi made just bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
For the thing, and Tohru made hamburgers, and everyone's like, hamburgers win. And they're like, what? Why do hamburgers win? Everybody wants bacon and eggs. And Kanna's like, I want hamburger.
It's like the one vote that matters.
Kobayashi's like, I really wanted bacon and eggs in my bento when I was growing up, and they would never make it for me.
That's how I liked my bento boxes.
It's good. It's good. I do like the food wars almost references to it.
One other that I liked was omu rice.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which it's like I think that's like rice inside of egg.
Yeah.
Like fried rice inside of egg with ketchup on top, which was super fun. And like Tohru cared so much about making it perfect.
Yeah.
And they also had like fruit milk, what they call it, like fruit olate. Fruit olay.
Oh.
Fruit olay. So it's like fruit AULIAT, which is like fruit punch flavored milk. They have milk flavors over there. They got like, 300 flavors of Kit Kats, dozens of flavors of milk.
Hey, listen, sometimes in life you got to get that wasabi Kit Kat,
It's true. When you said fruit olay, I was like, fruit olay.
Olay.
I was a little confused. I was like, oh, that's...
I think it's like a French term.
Yes.
Olay is with milk.
When you spelled it out, I'm like, French. Got it.
Yeah. Olay means like with milk. Like cafe olay is coffee with milk.
Oh.
So we're learning today.
I am learning today.
Yeah. And apparently it's like a common thing to like drink it after a shower or whatever. And they like drank it after they had their trip to the spa.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to try to make this egg and rice thingamabob.
Omurice. I bet it's gonna be good.
It did look good. It sounded good, and I thought to myself, I can make rice plus egg plus ketchup, probably.
Probably. I'm more concerned of how the rice would taste with ketchup. I eat ketchup with my eggs, so I mean that's not a big deal. But I don't know about the rice. That's gonna be kind of sus. But hey, I'll try it.
Sussy eggies.
Hey, this is Sussy eggy baka.
Shoot.
Oh my gosh, Hero. Like, anyone 100 years ago would never understand half the things you say.
Shoot.
I'm just trying to be hip with the kids, you know.
You gotta.
They're all about the Sussy bakas.
It's true. You gotta be hip. Down with the dab hatchet kids.
Down with the dab. Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's about all I got.
I don't got much more.
Yeah.
What about you, Hero? You got anything else? Any last things?
Oh, wait, the table. The table.
Oh yeah, we can't.
Oh yeah,
the
they're
table.
just like they're
the one thing we're freaking out about.
they're old prisoner by the warm kotatsu.
I had never heard of this in my entire life, and now I need it.
Get yourself that shin high table, knee high table with.
So yeah, like from what I understand, the original kotatsu was like a charcoal oven or like stovetop to cook off of.
Okay.
And they would also like put a blanket around it or something.
That sounds very fire hazard.
There's like a heater under there.
That does kind of sound like a fire hazard, doesn't it? Like modern day ones have an electric heater in the tabletop, although it didn't look like the one in the show was plugged in or anything. So I'm not sure about that, but
maybe there were plugs in the floor.
yeah, I would even be happy with just like a blanket stitched onto a table that I just poked my feet
I
under.
didn't even realize there was a heater under there. Like I just assumed that the warm part meant there's a blanket on it.
It looks so comfy, and like the bit where it goes from like December 28th to like January 3rd, and they're all just stuck at the table. Like she's throwing an orange into the garbage.
Oh, the orange bit was so good.
It misses, and she's like, I can't go get that. I'm at the kotatsu. You go get it, Tohru. You're a maid. She's like, no, I'm not that kind of maid. I'm staying at the kotatsu. It was nice too, because that was like the third place prize. Tohru wanted to get like the spa day.
That's
But
right.
it turns out like the kotatsu was the actual best prize ever. It was nice.
It's true.
Don't have to win everything, just make the best of it.
As I'm just searching Amazon for this.
Oh yeah, I do want one of those.
Sorry, I'm looking at the Amazon link that Hero posted.
That looks just like a table.
Well, when you go through the pictures, I didn't know how the blanket stayed on there. So it made, after I looked through the pictures, like, the table part lifts up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like you clip it in at the corners.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the blanket probably has a square hole in the middle or something like that.
Or
I
it's
don't know.
magnet on the tabletop, magnet on the
True.
leg.
Or yeah. Man, now I'm thinking all about, and it comes with a heater.
I'm tempted to see if I can get my coffee table replaced in the living room with this.
I before I would like invest in such a thing to be in my house, my flammable home, I would want to know statistics about how many houses burn down per year to this.
It's gotta
stuff,
be
'cause-
safe. In Japan, they make all their houses out of paper. Like, it's gotta be safe. It's gotta be safe.
Yeah, but like definitely I really liked overall that watching this anime made me feel like I was sort of taking a field trip to another culture. There were so many times where, you know, a few different ones that I took note of throughout the show. Like they play a game called Shiritori,
Mhm.
which is where you have to make a word with the final kana of the previous word.
Ah.
So, I mean, I guess like a similar game that like you could play in English would be if you have to like make a word from the last letter of the word before it.
Oh, yeah.
What else? They made Teru dolls, which
Little ghosties.
Yep.
yeah, they made them look like themselves. The Little Match Girl play, which apparently is a Danish story that I'd never heard about.
Where the little girl dies, and I forgot about that play that they did.
Yeah, they're like, it ends with her going up to heaven, and they were like, and then what does she do? Nothing, she's dead. You dummy.
I was lost. They threw so many folklores into that one. I'm just like,
There were a lot of references in that.
Now it's like 47 Ronin? What?
Yeah, now it's.
I was like, I'm done.
Where are there magical girls here in this Danish folk story?
Yeah, I want to be a magical girl.
It's good.
And I want to be a magical girl too, so that I can support my family somehow
Don't.
through magical girl stuff.
I'm still lost on why the hat salesman needed to be there, but I will sure.
It's true.
They burned the hat on stage.
That's right.
And like all
Yeah.
the old people, like when Lucoa comes through, are just like, that's nice. She's like she's making all the bouncy sound effects and like, their heads are all turning, watching her go.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice play.
I really like that they left in all the low budget, effects or whatever. Like lights go down on character, then the character like walks off the stage. You can still see them leave. Then the lights come back.
Yeah, it was the right amount of scuffed.
Perfect.
It was the correct amount of scuffness.
It's good.
Okay, now I think I've officially run out of things to say.
Cool.
We hit on everything important.
I'm literally just going down this rabbit hole looking at these now. So
Just
I'm
look at
I'm
Kotatsu's.
exiting
Let's
out.
hero.
Yeah, I can't.
Give us the hard numbers.
What?
Give us hard numbers.
Oh, okay. Heart. I found one for $150.
Don't you dare buy the cheapest one.
Oh,
You gotta at
no.
least buy the second cheapest.
There's only 7 left in
It
stock.
has to be in the middle.
It's only 7 left in stock. What the hell?
What? Oh, we're talking about numbers for the anime.
No.
for the anime.
No. But, all right. But hero,
Yeah.
you can't buy this table without sharing your candle story.
What?
Your candle story, your Wonder Woman candle.
Oh my god. Listen, I don't care what anyone says. When I was working at GameStop was selling these Wonder Woman candles. They were on clearance. I bought a lot of them. I swear to God that every time I lit the Wonder Woman candle and I put my nose to it, I think it would smell of Wonder Woman. But everyone in chat would always say that no, Amazon women smell like they didn't shower, they don't smell clean, and then because and you're talking about
Yeah, I'm talking about the part where you almost burnt your house down.
yeah, so this adds on to. It's onto this. I was streaming a game and I lit the candle. I had napkins right next to the candle.
Oh no.
And I spilled a little bit of something on me. So I was like, I reached for the candle. I reached for the napkins and the napkins went over the candle and some of them dropped on it and I don't even know what's happening. I'm cleaning up my mess and I just see a fire. I go, oh God. And I'm just like, I'm taking it and I just threw it into my garbage can with stuff in it. And I'm like, oh God. So I run to the bathroom and put water in it.
Oh no. I need a clip of. Is there a clip of this?
There is a clip.
Yeah, there is. There is absolutely a clip of this.
It's my most viewed clip.
But yeah, so here, keep that in mind as you are purchasing this danger table.
Oh, this is dangerous.
Don't put a candle on it.
Think of Wonder Woman bigger.
Oh my god.
I mean, I was thinking maybe I could put it right here. Just on stream.
What? Behind your chair?
Yeah, I can use it as a tax write-off.
Just to sit there as a conversation piece?
Yeah, and then just bring it up, like get a longer cord and just put it on the table.
Always a flaming good time at the Hero 19X channel. Oh god. Oh no. Sorry, I'm watching
He's
this
watching
clip.
the clip.
Oh.
Oh no! It's so good. Oh shoot, that was good. Okay, you can continue. It's a good clip.
It was so long ago.
It's a good one.
And it will never ever be scrubbed from the internet now.
No.
So good. That's going on the video version of the podcast.
Everybody gets, if you're on YouTube, you get to see Hero just desperately trying to put out a fire.
And if you are already on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. Wink.
Do it. Wink. So the numbers.
Oh yeah, the numbers.
My overall feeling of this anime, I think probably the same as we've been saying this whole time is I wish there was more heartfelt and less sort of sexual undertones, because a lot of the time it felt more distracting than anything. It felt like it kind of felt like there was a quota, or like they thought they would lose our attention if there wasn't fan service and eye candy every couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it really felt shoehorned in. Like you'd be having a nice moment and then you hear that little boob bouncing sound effect. Whomp! You know, it's like
Yeah.
they'd be having a real serious conversation and heartfelt emotions, and they go in and hug and it'd be like, blah, blah. It's like, okay.
Lucoa walks in the room.
That aside, the story was a really, really good mixture of like slice of life where nothing matters, like just about like there weren't any end of the world situations. There weren't like there was like one fight that you felt like maybe was, you know, like the fight with Tohru's dad, you felt like was a serious fight, but everything just was goofy enough and heartfelt enough. I would give it an 8, I'm going to say. The sexy stuff was a bit too distracting and made me feel a little icky a couple times. So I'm, going to drop it 2 whole points for that, because I really wish I could share this with people, but I feel like I'm going to have to pick and choose who those people are because of all those other bits in there. So yeah, I'll say 8 out of 10.
I agree. Like, the story is really, really good. The animation, the music, the sound effects, I liked a lot when, like how Ty Muffin said, when you hear the boing, big blue, big dragon came into the room. But like, but I felt like everything was, everything was good except for like how you guys said. I mean, sometimes the lowly stuff was a little too much, but the story was good. I wish that they would go more into certain other characters, but hopefully season 2, cross our fingers, we get to see more of a character. Elma, yeah, because I really wanted to like her, and when I saw her I saw her in the intro, I go, that's gonna be my favorite. I swear, I know it, I felt it, but I don't know nothing about her. So therefore, she's not my favorite. Kanna, you're number 1. Let's go.
Kanna stan.
I want to say real quick that I felt the exact same way about Elma. Like, I saw her in the intro and I was like, I like her design. She looks like tons of fun.
Yes.
Then they did nothing with her.
Yes.
So like maybe she could be my favorite character if there ended up being more of her, but there just wasn't.
It's just not.
It was like 90% Kanna and Tohru, and other people kind of bounced in and out.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of knew. I don't want to say I knew what kind of anime this was going in, because I already watched like 3 to 4 episodes prior, and I knew this is gonna be like, oh, kawaii, notice me, senpai, please touch my tail type of stuff. So I mean, I knew what I was getting into. I wanted more touchy feels, like with Fafnir, like that. I want more Fafnir. He when he got wholesome, it touched me right here.
I made the curry mild just for you, buddy.
Just for you.
So good.
Thank you, senpai, and I noticed you.
What are you giving it out of 10?
Out of 10, honestly, I would give this an 8.5, just because I knew I knew what I was getting into because I watched this before. I watched the first 4 to 5 episodes prior to the podcast stuff, so I knew what I was getting into, and it just the like how you guys saying the underage stuff was kind of sussy bockish stuff to me.
Yeah, agree. This is like the perfect example to me of like a 10 out of 10 anime. Like you look at the animation and like the plot and like the way the characters are introduced, and like they have funny interactions with each other and character traits, and for the most part, you know, Elma doesn't really have any wholesome interactions with anybody because she's like barely in it, but she has wholesome interactions with chocolate, so that's...
I was about to say, with food, she has some wholesome moments.
But, like, it's a thing where all of that stuff is so perfect, and it's, like, you get a little bit of, like, world building that makes you want to know more about the other world, that it's, like, it's so close to, like, a 10 out of 10 with all that stuff. And then you throw in, you know, the first... 3/4 of the, first half of the time that we see Shouta and Lucoa, that it's just like her trying to seduce him, kind of. And then the Kanna Saikawa relationship. And it's like, God, it just kills me how those two things, like, probably in terms of total runtime, like less than 3%, 2% of the whole thing can just kill it. Just not like kill it. It's still good. Like, I'd still recommend people watch it. But like you're saying, Sharks, I have to find the people who are going to be okay with that stuff and aren't going to be like, look at me funny after I tell them, after they watch it.
It's definitely the kind of show that if you showed it to somebody who doesn't watch anime, they'd be like, oh yeah, this is what I imagined all anime is like.
100%. So it sucks because the animation is great. It's so good. It's so smooth and fluid in the fight scenes, and everything else is a really nice package. There's the right amount of wholesome moments to funny moments. It's just those moments that are, sexualizing minors, literally sexualizing children. That is a problem that I have a problem with. And, it drops it from, a 9.5 or a 10 down to, for me, I'd say about a 7.5. Because it's just, I can't recommend it to anybody outside of, I can't recommend this anime to anybody outside of people who already watch anime and know what it is. Because if you show this to anybody who's new to anime and you show them this, it's especially... like maybe there's some cultural differences, but if you show this to anybody in America and be like, this is what anime is, they're not going to watch any more anime.
It for sure is a bit of a cultural whiplash.
Yeah.
And I feel like in 10 years it's going to be a little bit of an odd time capsule, because I think the whole world, Japan included, is sort of becoming a bit more consent minded, Mm-hmm. I don't know why it kind of feels like an anime kind of trope that no means try harder.
You're not wrong with the anime.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like that kind of stuff is like, that would never ever in 100 million years air in America ever. And so it's kind of funny watching an anime and it's just offhandedly like, adult woman, small boy, let's go.
They straight up named the boy after the frickin'
it was on the nose, yeah.
Tag, like, Christ. Like, yikes. Like, I know that it's like it's a thing that's there for the degens.
Yeah.
For the degens.
You do kind of think that in the back of your head, like, who is this for exactly?
Like, yeah, it's just, it's a little on the nose. It's a little yikes, that whole thing. Yeah, that's all I got. Those are my opinions.
Well, hey guys, it looks like the Dragon Maid is back and wants to clean up after us.
Oh shit.
We're gonna need to clear out the room. And with that, I have been Shark Wellington.
I'm Time Muffin.
I'm Hero 19X.
Making dragon noises over there.
Thank you for watching anime with Anime and my dragon Maid. What? Oh, she's rearing up. I think she's about to. Oh crap!
Oh God!
Oh no!
God, take my clothes out of your mouth, weirdo! God, put them in the washer. Jesus.
Make my room more of a room and less of a smoking crater, please. Thank you.